March 13th, 2023, 4:17 a.m. A dead Keyhole-class satellite drifts in graveyard orbit, scheduled for deorbit in 2025, but just before its power core shuts down, it records a compressed data packet and transmits it to a receiving station. That transmission changes everything. The satellite uses synthetic aperture radar. It detects an anomaly 3,000 meters under the Pacific, a geometric shape where there should only be rock. The data is flagged as an error and routed to NOAA. It sits unopened for 12 hours. Dr. Elena Vance opens the file. Embedded in the noise, she finds a definitive right-angle reflection. Natural geology does not produce 90-degree angles. Enhancing the image, a massive sprawling structure emerges from the darkness. Vance uploads her findings. The NRO triggers an automated flag within 11 minutes. Her access is revoked. At 8:42 a.m., two men arrive and confiscate her workstation, asking one question: "Who else have you shown this to?" She is never allowed back. Within 48 hours, three rival superpowers move. The USS Jimmy Carter reroutes from the Bering Sea. The Chinese vessel Xiangyang Hongten changes course. The Russian submersible Rus deploys. Three naval fleets converge on the exact same patch of ocean. The satellite reveals a structure 4 kilometers across with a central peak and radiating wings, but it also picked up a low-frequency acoustic signature, a rhythmic pulse. Scientists describe it as non-natural, 18.4 hertz, repeating every 7.2 seconds, aimed upward. Governments issue a joint maritime safety bulletin citing unexploded ordnance, but there is no historical record of combat there. The water is too deep for standard mines. It is a cover story, and the cover story is beginning to crack. Commercial satellites reveal a naval blockade. The USS Jimmy Carter sits directly above the coordinates with an ROV capable of descending 4,500 meters. Russian and Chinese vessels deploy their own. They are not looking for bombs. On March 28th, 15 days after detection, the signal abruptly stops. It does not fade. It ceases instantly. Someone or something turned it off. All three vessels immediately reverse course, ordering a rapid ascent away from the structure. Dr. Vance is relocated to an undisclosed facility. Her family hasn't seen her, but the system made a fatal mistake. They did not take her backup drive. It is stored in a safety deposit box in Arlington, given to a journalist 2 days before her office was raided. The journalist confirms one terrifying detail. Vance's final analysis concluded the structure predates the last ice age, built before human civilization existed. If it's 10,000 years old, who built it? And why did three rival nations agree to a treaty of silence? US-239, the satellite that captured the image, burns up over the South Pacific. The US calls it pre-programmed, but analysts note its scheduled deorbit was 2025. The timeline was accelerated by nearly 2 years. They tried to destroy the evidence, but a technician downloaded a fragment of the raw feed to his personal laptop. It shows the structure in motion, a slight rotation between the first satellite pass and the second. The structure moved, active under 3 kilometers of crushing water. We reached out to the Pentagon. They refer us to the DoD statement. No anomalous objects have been detected. Russia denies the rerouting. China calls it unfounded speculation. Yet the commercial satellite images do not lie. The ships are still there. 3 nations conducting a coordinated survey. In an era of global division, they have found common ground. That alone is terrifying. Why was Vance disappeared? What caused this sudden unified cooperation in the middle of the Pacific? The picture of that structure carries no message of hope. It carries a warning. We are not alone on this planet. We never were. And whatever we just woke up from the abyssal depths is now watching us back. The satellite that saw too much is gone, burned to ash. But the data is still out there, in encrypted hard drives, in a safety deposit box. In the fragments recovered by a whistleblower who vanished moments after sending the final file. What happens when the world finally sees what lies in the deep? That is a question nobody in power wants to answer. The silence from the governments is just as unsettling as the pulse itself. The investigation remains ongoing. The system went offline. Links disconnected, optics destroyed, data drives zeroed. But we are left with more questions than answers. The signal has not resumed. What is sitting 3,000 meters beneath the waves, waiting to be found? Mission end.